welcome to each and every one of you for joining me on today's information session where I'm going to share with you not just a little bit more details about the speaker Career Launch Accelerator program, but more specifically why this is a good time for you to join in on this program, okay? As stated before, this is also an information session. Feel free to message on the chat, ask questions. Me and the team, we're all here. We're going to be able to respond and discuss to make sure that we clarify any questions, comments, or concerns that you may have about the program, and obviously address any excitement many of you have for joining at this time. All right. So again, thank you and welcome to the program. So today we're gonna be really brief because I want to make sure I leave enough time for Q&A at the end. However, I will interrupt myself and allow you to interject at any point with questions. So that way, for those of you who can't stay the full hour, I'm able to answer it directly. So again, if you have any immediate questions, share it on the thread. I'm going to answer them immediately. But for today, we're going to talk about the program, what you get from the program, why this is going to be a truly transformational opportunity for you and your career, especially for many of you who are career professionals, entrepreneurs. This is probably one of the best opportunities for you to monetize your career skill set in a way that's not gimmicky, in a way that's not a current and passing trend. This is a lifelong skill that's going to cultivate itself to really not only give you dividends up front by getting paid to speak on stage, but throughout your career. I could talk on and on and on what public speaking has done for me personally. So I'm speaking from a personal experience, both as a public speaker, but also as someone who books speakers for events. So I'm looking forward to sharing more with that. Of course, I'm actually going to show you behind the scenes of the program. So I'm going to show you a couple of slides, a couple of talks, from sessions 1 to 5 that we've completed so far for the Career Accelerator. So you could get a gist of how in-depth these conversations are and the type of conversations that we're having in this Career Accelerator program that we're having live. And of course, I'll share with you the dates, how you could jump in, and everything in between. So let's get started on this conversation. So obviously, this program, many of you are aware of this program because either you are in my community newsletter, either you signed up for more information regarding this program, or you joined me for the 5-day series training that I hosted, I believe it was last month. And that one, we received tons and tons and tons and tons of great feedback, right? And many people say, like, look, this Career Accelerator program, what would I get out of it, right? What is the direct result? I'm seeing some of these questions come in the chat. That 5-day training that I did earlier this year was the exact blueprint for you to get started, right? For you to know if you want to get paid to speak, if you want to get speaker bookings, this is the process that you got to experience and undergo to be able to find opportunities. What this Career Speaker Accelerator program does is takes it a step further, where over the next couple of weeks, I will help you to reach out to event organizers. I will help you to craft your speaker proposal. I will help you to, if you have a website, update it and optimize it, but even launch your website. For some of you, you don't even have a speaker website. Literally anything that is required of you to be able to get paid speaking engagements, to be able to get a direct result of opportunities immediately after the program, we walk you through that. And I'm going to talk about how that looks like on the back end of this program in the next couple of minutes. So this is the reason why we launched this, because obviously many of you say, okay, you told me what to do, who to reach out to. What do I say? How do I say it? How do I pitch myself? What do I include in an email? Do I call? Do I email? Do I text? Do I walk up to the office? We talk about all of that in between. Okay. So with that said, just to give you a sense a little bit about me, for those of you who need a quick reintroduction, my name is Christina Tim, and the reason why I am definitely the person that you need to talk to regarding this conversation is because not only have I already spoken at over 360 conferences to date and event programs, I've been featured in many different media outlets around the world for the work I do in the tech and impact space. I've generated over $1 million from my speaker content, from my fees, from my resources, from my platform as an entrepreneur and as a global speaker. And on the other side of that, I've also hosted over 400 events. It's actually way more than that if you consider webinars and workshops as well. Through my multiple companies, I'm a 5-time entrepreneur, but 3 of them are highly, highly, highly popular companies that you probably, if you Google my name, you'll see me in the media outlets for these entities. Okay. And I've also worked with a lot of Fortune 500 companies. And when I work with these Fortune 500 companies, I've also been booked for speaking engagements for these companies, whether it's the United Nations, whether it's MasterCard, whether it's AT&T, whether it's LinkedIn, Google. I've been on the end of getting booked for engagements. And so I'm sharing with you the thought leadership, the proposals, all the details that come with getting booked for these organizations, right? And of course, I always tell people being accomplished doesn't matter in 2024. Everyone can showcase their resume. And I'm sure all of you, each and every one of you, the reason why I did this is because you guys are already accomplished. You've done great things in your career. You've done great things in your life. But we're all chasing also flexibility, happiness, balance. And as someone who is a mother, a wife, I have 4 beautiful kids. I have a farm. I've lived in multiple countries. I'm not saying that it's easy to do all these things, but I can look back on my life and know that I've not only built my career in a way that I could be proud of, but I've built my personal life in a way that I could also be proud of, right? And so that's a little bit about me. And obviously, you'll get to know me in the next couple of weeks through this program. But that's the reason why I wanted to share that background so you know why I'm the best person to have this conversation. Because I know on the internet nowadays, everyone wants to be a guru. Everyone wants to talk from theory about how to do things. Like I see so many different research results about how to get your first gig, how to become a public speaker, just generic advice on the internet. If you've been to any of my previous programs, and you could tell by this conversation that we're going to have right now that I'm very bold, authentic, down to earth. I share with you even my vulnerable time period as a public speaker, all my regrets, all the money on the table that I left behind because I didn't know what I was doing in the beginning. I'm trying to short circuit that. And this is something that you can do, by the way, even if you've never had a speaking engagement. Look, when I first got started in the speaker career circuit, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I got into the circuit by accident and I was still getting paid for engagements. Now, imagine you don't have to figure that out. I will help you do that and you will see success. You will see progress and you will thank me later for it, right? And so, as stated before, not only my background as a global speaker will help you in this program, I always have sessions on this topic. I'm very passionate about public speaking and the impact that public speaking has had on my career. So I'm very passionate about sharing that with others so others can have, I would say, the career shortcut to success. Because a lot of people say, I'm an entrepreneur too. I've, hosted a successful company. Why am I not being featured in industry magazines? Why am I not getting these opportunities? I've seen entrepreneurs say the same thing. It's because public speaking skyrockets your credibility, skyrockets your authenticity. You literally become the go-to industry expert for whatever field that you're in because you're speaking on global stages, right? So you don't even realize beyond the money flow and beyond the career and prestige, you are automatically cutting down years of grind work in your career by being a public speaker. And that is the secret to success for many influencers that you see in today's world as public speakers, right? And obviously, I went really deep in with the 5-day training with the Paid Speaker Career Launch program that we hosted last month and got crazy amount of feedback on this program. I had no idea that people really were struggling with really trying to figure out, okay, how do I get into the speaker circuit? How do I position my brand on social media? How do I do all these things without burning out? Because you guys are busy. You have a lot on your plate. You have a lot to do. You just want kind of like plug and play how to do this and how to customize and how to make it easier for you to not only get on the speaker circuit, but get paid doing so, right? And so this was the original blueprint for this program. And I went beyond that. So obviously, this is a little bit about me and my background and why I'm passionate about doing this program. And going further than that, this Speaker Career Launch Accelerator program is a multi-week training and group coaching program that helps you implement the strategies that you need to launch a profitable paid speaker career. Now, keep in mind, if you don't want to do this full time, that is perfectly fine. Some people want to get paid speaking gigs to supplement their income. Some people want to be able to do it to, be able, again, get career prestige, get opportunities, get invitations. There's so many different reasons why people want to get on stage. But the most, probably the biggest reason why is not only are you able to scale your income, you're able to scale your impact and scale your reach and reach new audiences. And I could tell you right now, with the way the world is heading, economically speaking, socially speaking, we are all overwhelmed and stimulated. I'm sure you feel that right now. You feel stressed, you feel compressed, you feel like there's a lot happening. Even me, myself, my team will tell you there are days where I'm just like, I don't know if I could do it. Right. And I recognize the time period that we're in. And I know you probably are being bombarded with so many different solutions, so many different ideas, so many different, oh, this is the thing that you need to do right now to get XYZ. This is not it. This is me packing what, 11 years now? 11 years of experience, thought leadership, strategy into one program. Okay. 11 years I've been in the speaker circuit. This is not a joke. I am not giving you some random, blueprint. I'm giving you the blueprint from my experience of being in the circuit for over 11 years. Okay. So, with that said, I do want to now take a step back and kind of give you a window into some of the discussions that we have in the program, but also share why this is the right time for you to step into this opportunity. So some of you are aware that we started the Speaker Career Accelerator program. Already, we've done 5 sessions. Now, the reason why I'm reaching out to you is because throughout the program, it originally was a 4-week program. As I was doing the program with the participants, they're loving it, they're growing, they're really evaluating and really implementing, and they're seeing success. We realized let's actually double and make it 8 weeks. So we have enough time to not only train you live, where I'm coming up with the team and I'm live training you, like, this is what you do to update your bio. This is what you do to create a website. This is what you do to reach out to organizers. We're also doing implementation workshops where we group coach and do it together to make sure that you are actually doing the work during the program so you can see results as quickly as possible. So now it went from being a 4-week program to an 8-week program. So we have 4 more weeks to go. And this midway point, even though many of you have missed sessions 1 to 5, you're going to be able to join me tomorrow if you book today to be a part of the program, where I go over literally 5 hours, 5 sessions in under 3 hours. So it's kind of like a deep dive boot camp. So that way, of course, you could go through the recordings on your own and pace yourself, but I'm able to coach you through the first 5 sessions, because next week, hear this, next week, we're going to start reaching out to event organizers. We're going to get your website ready. We're going to get, your career page ready. We're going to make sure your LinkedIn profile is optimized. Don't worry, we have the process. Okay. So that way, when we're reaching out to event organizers, because we have hundreds of databases of event organizers, we are able to watch you through and coach you through that entire process. So this is the reason, for those of you who have that question, why this is the best time to join the Accelerator program, because of the extended sessions, because of the midway point, and because you're going to see immediate results as we reach out to event organizers on the back end of this. Okay. So let me stop sharing. I want to share with you the conversations that we've already been having. Okay. So let me share screen here. Okay. So I'm going to briefly, over the next probably 5 to 8 minutes, kind of walk you through the conversations that we already had in the program, so you could get a sense of what we're going to deep dive into on Saturday if you choose to come on live for that. And then, of course, what you got coming ahead to you next couple of weeks as we go through the program. Okay. So with that said, are there any quick questions before I move on? Because I know already in 15 minutes, I already told you a lot, and I want to make sure we're all on the same page for this. Okay. Everyone's good to go. I got some energy in the room. Everyone's cool. All right, so let's dive right in. So when we first began the program, I had to make sure that everyone was in the right, position in their career to really move forward with the program. And I wanted to make sure that I wasn't just talking to people who just came online to just learn. I want to make sure you guys are executing and know why you want to do this, right? So on the first session, we talked about essentially what challenge they were facing, right? So I asked everyone on the live call. Remember, this is a small cohort, so I'm able to ask everyone individually what challenge are they currently dealing with right now in terms of the program. And some of them say, like, look, I can't find any speaking gigs, period. So I'm just a complete novice. I don't even know where to begin, right? And for those who had that situation, we say, look, what you are facing, you have a planet issue. You need to create a roadmap to launch and identify sources of opportunity. And we walk them through, this is the roadmap that you will take to do that. For those of you on the call who say like, look, I'm finding free gigs, I'm getting booked for opportunities in my network, but I can't find any paid gigs and it's getting frustrating. A lot of people fall into that bucket. And I say, look, your problem is a visibility issue. You need to create a public speaker profile that positions you to get paid. Just because you look like a thought leader doesn't mean people are going to pay you for that service, right? So it's really a visibility issue so people can be able to find you, right? Other people would say like, hey, I'm finding a couple of paid gigs, but it's still not consistent, right? Again, this is all about positioning. You need to create the one secret to success, which is a signature talk and a speaker proposal. Many of you know what topics you could speak on, but some of you have never created a 2-page speaker proposal where you talk about your topic, why you're the best person to speak on that topic, what's going to be covered in the talk, and why they should book you immediately. A lot of people have never done that before, and we walk you through how to do that, right? Other people say like, look, I'm getting consistent paid gigs, but I'm stuck in the same fee bracket. Maybe you're getting only $500 or $250 or $1,000. And you're like, how do I break into the $3,000 range, the $5,000 range? How do I break into those levels, right? And the problem that you have with there is pretty much a pipeline issue and a target market issue. Your avatar needs to be elevated. When we talk about how to create the right demographic and the right copy to be able to reach out to the right demographic that will pay you for where you need to be, right? And so we continue to talk about all these different challenges and showcasing them. This is the roadmap that you need to find success. So whether you're really new and you can't find any gigs, or whether you don't even know where to start, which is pretty much a project management issue, right? You need to create a system for managing a speaker business to get out there and find opportunities. We talked about that in the very beginning. So we know that everyone is situated and know, okay, this is my challenge and this is why I'm coming to the program. And this is very important. Some of you know that you want to be a part of this program, but you haven't really fundamentally really dig deep and had some soul searching as to what specifically is your issue. So please on the chat feed, let me know which challenge are you trying to tackle. Is it number 1? Is it number 2? Is it number 3? Is it number 4? So are you just trying to find speaking gigs, period? Give me a number 1 on the chat. If you're finding free gigs, but you're not getting paid for them, give me a 2 on the chat. If you're finding a couple paid gigs, but it's still not consistent, and you're like, look, if I'm going to make a living or some generous income from this, I need help. Give me a number 3 on the chat, and so on and so forth. So let me know where you're at on the chat. So that way you too could say and declare it to yourself, because until you could declare what challenge you're facing, you won't know how to find the right solutions. And one thing I always tell people, any challenge that you're dealing with in your career, once you know why it is a problem, the universe starts to align where the solution starts popping up, right? Some of you, you're not here by coincidence, right? You're trying to figure something out. You need some support somewhere, and you're just trying to figure out, okay, what's my actual challenge? Because if you focus on that challenge, all the little micro other challenges you're dealing with, you can deal with them after, right? But the biggest one that's causing you the biggest stress, you tackle that and you move forward and you start to see a domino effect. So that's the reason why this conversation was so crucial, and it was very eye-opening for a lot of people. So we workshop through that conversation. And then we dive deep. So now that we had that roadmap, right, after the career planning session, I started to talk about like, look, how people break into public speaking is like this. They start accidentally. They start doing a couple of free, engagements. And then maybe once or twice they might get paid, right? And then they're like, okay, let me put myself out there. Let me start promoting. But you start to get in a cycle of frustration. And some of you probably already hold a lot of resentment for people in your network right now, right? Where you're a phenomenal thought leader. You're seeing other people in your peer group get passed on for opportunities, get gigs, get features, and you're 10 times better, right? And we talk about like, how do you go from not knowing what to do, right, where you're accidentally getting opportunities, to creating an actual blueprint and a system. And this is a 10-step blueprint and roadmap that we experienced during the Speaker Career Accelerator program, where we go from this, where you're accidentally getting gig or you're not getting any at all, and you're getting frustrated with your ecosystem, to actually know, okay, what's my career journey? Like, what am I trying to do? What have I accomplished in my career that even though I'm not like, like a Bill Gates or Oprah Winfrey, I have done something that I know someone is two steps behind me is trying to figure out. How do I share that with my ecosystem? How do I get paid to share that knowledge, right? Because you're always two steps ahead of somebody. Okay. And that's just facts. I always tell people, stop trying to compare yourself with someone who's already ahead of you. You are always two steps behind someone else in your network. And when you think about the world, you're multiple steps ahead of somebody, right? Can I get an amen? You know that in your career, you've done something, whether it's your work experience, whether it's your life experience, whether it's your family experiences, your hobbies, you have done something in your life where you're a couple steps ahead of somebody, and people want to book you to share that knowledge, share that journey with others. And that's where we're at, right? And so obviously we dive right into positioning yourself. This is where I help you craft your value position and statement. Then I help you build your biography. Many of you may have a biography, many of you don't, but we create a speaker biography from scratch. So that way we create the right narrative for you to get booked for stages. And then last but not least, so far, we already talked about the signature talk. This is the thing that actually gets you booked. And I talk about that in depth, that your product is not you. You are the package, whether you're a female entrepreneur or a male, influencer in the tech space. You are the package. The product is your signature talk. So we help you write the speaker proposal 2-pager to be able to get booked. And you'll find something that takes less than 30 minutes to do is the thing that's going to keep getting you income flow very easily. And it's so sad that so many people don't know how to do this, but we walk you through doing that process. Okay. And of course, as shared before, starting next week, we're going to go into the marketing and outreach, right? We're going to reach out to event organizers. We're going to start emailing, going through the process of really doing this in a way that's easy, simple, automated, and not overwhelming. Because like I said, I'm a mother as well. I'm a wife. So one thing I would say, I'm always trying to find methods that are systematic and easier for me to follow. So that way I don't get overwhelmed, but I'm still making progress in my career, in my life, in my goals and aspirations that I have. And many of you, what are your goals this year? Right? Ladies and gentlemen, we're halfway through the year. Right. So if you started in January, say like, I'm going to do X, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and you find yourself like lost, like, like 2024 really kicked you in the teeth and you're like, oh snap, I only have 6 more months left. Let's do something about it, right? Let's jump into the driver's seat and do something about it through this opportunity and really self-direct, reset, and make the next 6 months something that you could be proud of, right? Where you could look back and say, in 2024, I took a leap of faith and invested in myself and did something as simple as build my speaker career profile to not only generate more visibility in my career, but also create new revenue streams for something that I already do on a daily basis, which is live my life and share that thought leadership with others. Can you imagine? That's what we're trying to create today and beyond, right? And so these are the conversations we're having, right? And then we went through the roadmap. We talked about, even the money flow, like what to expect in terms of income at different levels of the speaker career circuit. So we talk about, because I'm also a personal branding expert, I don't stop at just communicating to you about how to get paid for speaking engagements. I also talk about how to monetize your career and your career experiences by also selling digital products, selling information, and also positioning yourself for even virtual booking. So if you see here on this stage, right, you see that, we turn these challenges that we're facing in terms of visibility, getting booked, into opportunities, right? So whether you're starting at level 5, where brand new speakers can earn anywhere from $500 to $5,000, right? Where you're brand new with little speaking experience, but people are looking for fresh voices, right? This is where you start building a relationship, where you're probably doing virtual talks, maybe personal conferences, maybe academic circles. And this one, you are by yourself, you don't have a team. But at this stage, even at this stage, you can monetize your career experiences on stage, but also off stage by doing webinars, by doing courses. We talk about that as well, right? We talk about as you evolve, right? Where you keep getting higher and higher, where you can get like 5K pay, get 10K. This is where we start to get into corporate clients, where corporations, Fortune 500 companies want to book you to speak, right? this is where you start to really learn the levels of really getting into the higher paid speaking bracket, and how to do that, how to position yourself. And I always say this is elevating your avatar, your target audience is a simple thing, a simple tweak on your profile, a simple process of outreach that will change your income fee as you get more and more mature in the market, right? So this is really, really phenomenal that we went through this. And then of course we talk about, what is your life portfolio, right? When you think about public speaking, where does it fit in, right? Because some of you say, like, look, I'm not trying to do this full time, or maybe I am trying to do this full time, but I know that public speaking is a crucial thing for me to do, right? So for a lot of you, having this conversation, we have a conversation about your portfolio, your life portfolio. Where does your personal, goals fit in? Where does your career goals fit in? Are you about to buy a house soon? Are you about to, travel the world? Like, what are your goals and aspirations? And how do we make sure that we fit everything in a way that is systematic, is manageable, and makes sense for you, right? So these are the type of conversations that we're having on a regular basis, right? On these sessions, right? So these are the things that happen. So as we continue forward, right, we have a roadmap. We talk about, okay, in addition to me supporting you through this career accelerator program, who are you identifying in the market that are very similar to you? This is where we talk about creating speaker avatar profiles, right? That you could track, that has, let's say, one of your coworkers who's doing really well, maybe someone that's an industry leader in your industry, like, what are they doing to get visibility? Where we audit their websites, we go on their Facebook pages, we see their marketing strategy, we literally download the playbook of our competitors. And I walk you through how to do that. So that way, not only are you learning from me, but I show you the blueprint to be able to download the secrets and strategies of other people who are on the market, even be able to see and identify how much money they're making and whether you are on the right track to do the same, right? So we talk about all this, and obviously we continue to go forward. Went through the bio where I showed people how I created my speaker bio and how to create that value position and statement that comes at the beginning of the bio, so that when people want to book you, they're like, yeah, not only are you accomplished, which showcases in your bio, and by the way, your bio is not a regurgitation of your resume. I do live coaching where I help you to create a narrative in your bio that really resonates with people, where people want to engage with you further. Okay, and then we go to the value position and statement. So that when an event organizer sees your profile, like, yes, this person is the right person to be able to speak at our event. So I'm obviously in the tech space, for example, right? And I will say, like, look, my value positioning statement is that I help entrepreneurs, right, to be able to essentially monetize their brands online. So that way they could live flexible, fulfilled lifestyle, right? So the who are entrepreneurs and career professionals. The what, help them monetize their career journeys. And the why is because I want them to live fulfilled and flexible lifestyles. And it makes sense. One thing I always share with people, like capitalizing on you and who you are already, right? Because if you notice, it's very easy for me to be able to speak on that subject and provide that as a value positioning statement, because I'm an entrepreneur. I'm living a flexible lifestyle. I'm loving the work that I do, and I'm helping people monetize in the digital space because I do that, right? And so we talk about targeting topics that you already do. So it's easy to be an authority and easy for people to see you as a go-to person, because we live in the world right now where you can no longer, when you come to a networking event, you can't just say, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm the CEO of X. Nobody cares, right? You got to get in depth and say, like, no, I'm an entrepreneur that help others succeed through my programs, through my initiatives, through my webinars. We live in a very service rendered society where people are really looking to see, like, what value are you bringing to the table? We are like in that Netflix generation, becoming binge worthy, right? What are you doing to get out there? And this is more personal branding, but we talk about that in the Speaker Career Accelerator. So that way you have multiple streams of opportunities just through your thought leadership as a speaker. Okay. And then, of course, I show you how to create a speaker resume, which is a speaker one pager. I tell you about all the different things that you need in that one pager. And we actually do it together, by the way, right? So we put a Word document on the screen and we all just literally walk through and write out our bio statement, write out our bio. Like, I don't play. Like, I literally have you guys going through the process of creating that one pager. And then we go to Canva, we design it, and and we print and we're ready to go. So we actually do that together through Word and Canva. So with that said, this is just a glimpse, okay, into the program. I just wanted to share that with you so that way you kind of have an idea of like how in depth these conversations are and how deep they go, right? Because we cover a lot in a little time, and we do that on purpose to make sure that we are also aware that you guys are human and you're juggling a lot and you're trying to progress your career through programs like this. And I want to share with you that this is going to be the defining program that you could tap into, because I not only go really deep into how you could become a speaker that is paid and revered and respected, right? But also how you incorporate that into your life goals and your journey. So that way you're balancing along the way. So if you are interested, here is where we are right now. You just heard a lot about the program. You just heard why this is a great time to dive into the program. Okay. Here's where you need to make a decision. All right. As stated before, tonight at 9 p.m. is going to be the last chance for you to dive into this. Okay. You are welcome to ask any questions from here on forth, but I want to stress to you this. This program, I usually do it only once a year. So you will have to wait until next year to be able to get on this opportunity. And what's worse, I stated this before, that we are halfway through the year 2024, right? So if you had any goals and aspirations of what you wanted to do, right, for this year, this is a phenomenal opportunity. And some of you might say, okay, reiterate to me the goals of this program. One, you'll be able to deliver a keynote speech that generates impact and revenue. Okay. Two, I will show you how to be able to, at the end of this program, you'll be able to reach out to multiple event organizers on autopilot regularly, seamlessly, and know exactly what to say and how to say it to get booked. And third, my hope is that because you'll get so good at writing the right speaker proposals to get booked, that you'll know who to reach out to for speaking engagements, that eventually you'll be able to monetize this and even able to turn your speaker business into a legacy business that gets you paid and gets you access continuously. Some of you might go full-time into public speaking. Some of you will have a team to manage the speaking booking process for you. But the point is, it's going to become a long-term part of your career development and growth that pays you and grows you as you build your profile. Okay. So those are the major outcomes of the program. So a lot is in store for you as you jump into this program. So with that said, the last thing I will say is that the program is live. You're not getting access to a recording. I'm not doing that, right? I am coming on live with you twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, for about 2 hours, okay? On Tuesdays, it's really pretty much the training where I'm saying, okay, today we're going to talk about the speaker proposal. Today, we're going to talk about reaching out to event organizers. And on Thursday, we have implementation, where it's like, okay, Tuesday, we talked about this. I gave you some homework to do. Let's actually come today now and let's do it together. Right? Maybe you were busy. Maybe you had a lot on your plate this week. Let's do it together. Everyone open up your laptop. Let's get our Gmail ready. Let's go to work, right? And that's what happens on Thursdays. And keep in mind, in this program, in addition to these two lively live calls that we do per week, I'm also scheduling one-on-one consultations for those of you who are program who want, okay, as I'm going through this program, what's the customized roadmap that I need for myself to grow beyond this program? So we have one-on-one coaching strategy sessions with each participant individually for the program. At the end of the day, at the end of this program, you're going to feel like, wow, like you're going to see yourself in a completely different way. You're going to see the real monetization value of your career experiences. A lot of you are putting so much potential on the table. You are not monetizing things that you've already done, that you already know how to do, right? And for some of you, if you really want to leave a legacy that you could be proud of, and you're tired of just going into work and just doing the same thing over and over, and you want to leave an impression that could last a lifetime, public speaking, and I will tell you, and I've said this before, when you're able to move audiences in rooms that you just walk into, I still to this day, and I share with people, I still to this day, 10 years out, have people still message me, come up to me and say, like, I remember what you said at this conference. I remember what you did at this conference. I remember this topic that you addressed in this conference. People always still come up to me and say, hey, I learned a lot. Thank you for what you said. Thank you for your words. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your blueprint, right? These are the things, these are the gratitude experiences you could have within your network. And so I welcome you to join me on the Speaker Career Accelerator program. We are giving you until the end of tonight to be able to jump in. So for those of you who are ready, just jump right in. The team is going to put the link on the thread right now. So Edna, feel free to share the link on the chat as we dive into Q&A. And of course, stay in touch. I can't wait to see many of you this Saturday, right? For the live bootcamp where we go over the first 5 sessions. And of course, over the next couple weeks, let's make something happen, right? Let's change your trajectory. Let's make you proud of yourself. I want you to look in the mirror at the end of this program and say, I did it, right? Imagine where you could be with this, right? Let's do this. Let's make this happen. I'm so excited for you. And first and foremost, I'm very excited that you're deciding to really work with me personally over the next couple of weeks. Let's make it happen. Thank you so much. Now I'm open to questions. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Looking forward to welcoming you to the Speaker Career Launch Accelerator program. All right. So, questions, everyone. Let's